anything at all, it's caught early and then addressed ASAP. It's also Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And if nothing at all, you've been hearing the bits and pieces of information that we've been giving you on scams, phishing, hacking,
mobile money fraud,
online banking, mobile money fraud, etc., etc. And so you've been protecting yourself. You've done your two-factor authentication across all social media platforms, WhatsApp, even on your phone. And
you forgot one.
Which one?
Romance scam.
Yes.
I can't tell you that. Wow,
I love you.
Charlie.
Send me $1 million.
Can you imagine? And it's actually a big deal for a lot of people. So many people are falling victims to it, like, under the guise of getting married to some African prince.
There's even within the US, people also do it. There's this show on Netflix that I was watching recently. The title has escaped me. But so the guys would, he preys on divorcees, recently divorced women who, they're going through the whole emotions, and then he'll tell them that he's opening up a mental health awareness facility. Totally, he got money, but the women also in the end made sure that he was arrested and all of that. So romance fraud.
The point I want to really emphasize is that for some time it may look like, doing well in terms of money, right? Making money off people, all of that. But at the end of the day, it really goes against you. I've been in court where I've sat through cases where some unscrupulous person or persons, of course, it wasn't just one person, defrauded people under the guise of getting them recruited into security services. And guess what they use the money for?
What?
Bets. In excess of 350,000 Ghana cedis just went to stake, and everything went
down the drain.
So the point really is it doesn't end well.
No, it doesn't.
For a short period of time, it may look like, but guys, let's please be advised. For those who perpetrate it and for those who are easy targets, the point is that all through this month we've been having very important conversations on how to keep safe.
They're coming for you.
Exactly. The A Safer You series is on social media. So if you want to know more and learn more, if you miss it even when we air it here, you can go back on social media and go check it out. Right.
Let's go into the stories. Legacy, I'm on ChannelOneNewsOnline.com, and on our portal, the big stories there. Legacy of Nana Kunedu remains intact despite breakaway. Senior Hosi. Legacy of Nana Kunedu remains intact despite breakaway. Other stories you find on our portal. Food glut under control. Buffer stock to stabilize markets. Talency NP says so. Exhibitors hail strong start to 2025 Northern Business Fair in Tamale. Food glut under control. Buffer stock to stabilize market. Exhibitors hail strong start to 2025 Northern Business Fair in Tamale. OSP must not rush extradition process against Oforiatta. Ning Papo Samoa is saying that you're not bedridden. Return to Ghana and face prosecution. Senior Hosi to Oforiatta. Don't pressure Mahama to appoint Zenato to cabinet. UP Legal Director Asabi declares interest in NPP chairmanship. There are photos from day one of the Northern Business Fair 2025. Nana Kunedu's demise. Ghana has lost a remarkable mother and stateswoman. That's according to the National House of Chiefs. And Galamsey, EPA launches Reclaim, Restore, Rebuild. Reclaim, Restore, Rebuild to heal devastated lands. A National Food Buffer Stock sets up first ever audit committee to strengthen accountability. Jude?
Interesting. Edo, let me take you to citynewsroom.com, where the big stories from the weekend up until this morning all are. And yesterday on the big issue was interesting to see that across the political divide, both NPP and NDC were hailing, former First Lady Nana Kunedu Agyeman, especially NPP. And a lot of stories here following her demise. But other stories, momentum grows on day 2 of Northern Business Fair in Tamale. Also here, don't panic over food gluts. Tamale MP urges farmers. Sponsors Lord's successful opening of Northern Business Fair in Tamale. Still on the Northern Business Fair, Regional Minister commends ChannelOne TV City FM for empowering local entrepreneurs. 3 dead, several injured in Tatale Zabzugu road crash. 3 months without defense minister is a dangerous gamble. That's coming in from Team Fojo. Former Auditor General Daniel Yao Domlevo is also in the news. He says strengthen lifestyle audits to hold corrupt officials accountable. And Nick Bakpo Samoa, who's a member of the NDC communications team and a private legal practitioner, says states must build strong docket before seeking Oforiate's extradition. And there's a photo story of all the amazing activities that happened during the Northern Business Fair Day 1. And then these are the big stories on citynewsroom.com.
Okay, I'm on graphiconline.com. Big stories you'll find. Use of mother tongue for teaching now compulsory in all basic schools. Education Minister. Wow, imagine me who can't speak Ga, find myself in a Ga school. I don't know, I think I need more information on that. So is that they'll speak it in English and then they'll translate it into Ga? Like, we need more clarity on this particular directive of the Education Minister asking basic schools to use mother tongue for teaching. Ghana AIDS Commission alarmed as youth abandon condoms. That's an interesting story that I'll be reading later on. 2 laborers jailed 3 years.
Youth abandoned condoms.
Yeah. When we were growing up, there was a song. There was a song. I remember it, and when we're reviewing that, I'll read it. 2 laborers jailed 3 years for stealing floored tiles. Health Ministry opens recruitment for specialized nurses to work in Grenada. And Anakunedu Ajiman Rollins, a legacy of poise, purpose, passion. National Security revokes operatives' appointment, probes 2 others over Galamsey involvement. Fight against Galamsey towards accountability, measurable results. South African Tourism Accra Polo Club partner to support breast cancer awareness. Use sign language at all state events. It's a human right. The GNAD is saying that enabling conditions key to retaining skilled workforce. Dr. Damo is saying so. And international financial institution reforms key to sustainable development. That's according to Ablakwa. 8 illegal miners nabbed for destroying school land. Jude?
Yeah, let me take you to the Ghana News Agency. Big stories here. Also a lot on the passing of Nanakunedu Ajiman Rollins. There's also other stories here. A minute, yes. Embrace AI for greater efficiency. Dr. Ayiku urges media organizations. Minority Caucus mourns passing on Nanakunedu Ajiman Rollins. Mentioned this to you yesterday. Ghana AIDS Commission warns of declining condom use among youth. Clearly, it's a major issue, you know. And also, moving on to some other stories. Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to revoke more unapproved licenses. Mahama announces complementary action to promote inclusivity. And I think all of the other stories you mentioned to us.
Mentioned. Okay. So on the news center, the big story: accidents reported on Kumasi, Accra, and Tatale Zabzugu routes. Dad crushed Kotoko 5-1 in CAF Confederation Cup.
Yeah, your sigh was so palpable.
NIMAS arrests 10 armed Chinese galamseyers at Abusa. Local languages now compulsory for teaching in all schools. JA Plant Pool blames $2 million drip overpayment on clerical error. Inspector sentenced to life imprisonment for killing girlfriend. SHS placement saga, a wake-up call for education managers. That's someone's opinion piece. Extend Oral's mandate to probe NPP corruption. Afaglo is saying that. And Emmy Africa announces nominees for 10th anniversary awards.
Interesting. Do we delve into the news, the big headlines now?
Yeah.
Cool. Yesterday on the big issue was just a really interesting show, right? On the extradition of the former finance minister, Senyo Hosi, who is convener for One Ghana movement, urged Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to wear white, say his prayers, and, and just make his way to the country to face prosecution. And of course, some members of the panel disagreed with some of the viewpoints that he had. But the former Auditor General, Daniel Yaldom Level, has been speaking on the growing corruption cases, particularly with regards to former appointees, and he's calling for the strengthening of lifestyle audit to hold corrupt officials accountable. And stories by Letitia Osei, excerpts of it read, former Auditor General and member of the Operation Recover All Loots team, Oral, Daniel Yaldom Level, has called for a strengthening of Ghana's assets declaration and lifestyle audit systems to curb corruption and promote accountability in public services. Remarks come in response to revelations by the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, that the scale of financial losses in the ongoing National Service Authority scandal is far greater than initially reported. Speaking on ChannelOne TV's The Big Issue with Salom Adono on Saturday, Mr. Domlevo lamented the weak internal control systems within public institutions, which he said embolden officials to embezzle funds without consequence. He further emphasized the importance of conducting lifestyle audits to expose individuals whose wealth cannot be justified by their known sources of income. And the story goes on and on and on. So, I don't know what you make of some of the corruption cases we've reported in the country over the past couple of years. But the point is that for some of these officials involved, they are known in community. So, for example, they grew up in Tamale, they grew up in North Kaneshi, or they grew up in Edum, in Shaiso, where you are from. I'm sure back in the day, you know some of your friends from Shaiso. So if 10 years down the line, or many years down the line, still in their, your age group, all of a sudden they have a house in Airport Hills, they are buying another 6-bedroom house in Cantonment, they are doing lavish birthday on private jets to Dubai, they go for the flashiest hotel reserved for like the Emirati kings when they go to Mecca.
They send their laundry to the UK to be laundered.
Can you imagine?
The stories I've heard.
Mind
blowing.
Charlie, I'm being told by certain persons close to some of these accused, so many lavish, extremely lavish. In fact, one time on the Big Issue show, one of the MPP reps was like, he was shocked because they were both in government and they were both going on a foreign trip. Then all of a sudden, one just throws a surprise party on the private jet they are chartered for, like an official. And the point is, so he was questioning himself. It's like, are we all in government? Are we all like under the whole, there was another thing the government said at the time, like, see government, meet government halfway, like, it was tough. So let's meet, when government was saying that they didn't have money to spend on certain things, So going back to my original point, if you see a drastic change in lifestyle, the person used to use some of my car, now that you have to step on the accelerator like 3 times.
Before you turn it on.
He used to use that. He comes into government, no problem, of course. He's an appointee, he's entitled to a vehicle, so a V8. But all of a sudden, you see him driving a Porsche Cayenne. All of a sudden, you see him driving a Lamborghini. On weekends, he's using some Aston Martin. It raises suspicion. And for me, I think that a lifestyle audit is the way to go. When we see some of these persons who are living the high life, we should be able to say, where is this coming from? And we should be able to trace, and for me, I think it's the way to go. And Dom Level puts it perfectly when he says that we should be able to push for a lifestyle audit, for public officials, and you were wearing Casio and Fossil. All of a sudden, you are wearing a Richard Mille, or you are wearing
Philippe.
Chale. So even if it's a gift, we should know like who is giving it to you. What are the motives behind the gift? Are they looking for favors beyond the gift and all of that? And the code of conduct is a good place to start. So we commend the administration, we commend the president for taking a bold step in saying that there are certain limits you can't cross as an appointee. We are being told that to begin with, you can't take beyond 20,000 Ghana cedis. Fair enough. But beyond that, we should be able to see and have a mechanism to get people, especially appointees, to explain some level of wealth. When we see a very drastic change in the way their lifestyle is compared to when they first came into government, I think it's a good step to go.
When government asked government officials to declare their assets, and there was a timeline given, I don't think we as journalists have even followed up to see whether that indeed has happened across board. The president had said he had done his, but across board, especially the new ones who were coming in, there was supposed to be salary cuts for those who had exceeded the deadline and all of those things. So I think that, yes, I agree with you and Dumlevo that lifestyle audits, but then again, at the very beginning, come declare your assets. Let's know what you have now. So that in the interim, if we see things or we see something that's not supposed to be there,
you will be able to tell.
We'll be able to tell that, is it from just your salary or you're doing something extra? Because some of the things I'm seeing is shocking. That you would think of robbing poor NSS people. It's shocking.
Or even like look at the buffer stock, and there's not in any way to say the accused is guilty. But the point is that we're in this country and we're told that there was no food. You remember? It took PTAs, parents to mobilize and buy sardines for school. We were told students in senior high schools were eating weevil-infested rice. It was in this country. So if all of a sudden, in the aftermath of all of this, or all of these, we emerged, through the benevolence of some private individuals, of course, the government of the day, came in to mitigate. And now we are seeing that after all of these monies were there. We are not saying that the money that was spent was what was supposed to have been used to improve. But of course, it's corruption. We don't know where the money is coming from. So you can allude to the point that maybe money meant for some of these, food stuff is what were misappropriated. But for me, I think it's just a terrible look. If I'm former President Kufuor, I don't know what he can do now because obviously it's out of government. But it's really a shameful look for the administration to have this widespread level of corruption allegations leveled against a significant number of some appointees who a significant number of them were like hardcore, well-known MPP members. They weren't like on the periphery or like some civil service. Gifties, she was campaigning for the MPP. Hanan Singh, and some other persons who have also. And the final point I wanted to make on this is that I think we need like massive reforms, right, to our procurement laws. We need to rethink and plug certain loopholes, particularly in the public sector, because it's just unsustainable the way we are going at this point.
I think we're still using laws from way back when. It's time we refine those laws.
And people are finding new ways to go around them. So
we're human beings. We'll always find a way around
It's just unfortunate.
Let's stay with a big issue. Today is the third day that the country is mourning the late former First Lady of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings. And Senior Husi says that her legacy will remain intact despite her breakaway. A bit of that story. The convener of the One Ghana movement, and this is on ChannelOneNewsOnline.com, is Senior Husi, has said that the legacy of the late former First Lady, Nana Akufo-Addo Rawlings, remains untarnished by her decision to part ways with the National Democratic Congress. Nana Akufo-Addo, who served as Ghana's First Lady from 1981 to 2001, broke away from the NDC to form the National Democratic Party. Speaking on ChannelOne TV's The Big Issue with Saloma Donu on Saturday, Mr. Husi said the former First Lady's contributions to women's empowerment and national development far outweigh any political division associated with her. Nana Konedi's place cannot be dented by her move away from the NDC or not. Her impact transcends her party. The millions of women who benefited from her activism, her advocacy, were not painted in party colors, he said. He cited the landmark interstate succession law and other gender-focused initiatives she championed as examples of her enduring impact on Guinean society. Mr. Husi described Nana Konedu as a visionary who set a new standard for the role of First Lady in Ghana, noting that her influence continues to inspire generations beyond partisan lines. Those who benefited from the interstate succession law, the sanity, normalcy, and the families that have been reshaped by virtue of that particular intervention, you don't go and look for who is NDC or NPP. Forget it. It is the last conversation anybody would want to waste time on. This woman did not just follow the path of being a First Lady. She carved it. She redefined it. She was the one who understood what political power could do, and she used it, he stated. I remember this law. So interstate succession law, PNDC law 111. We were taught in school because at that time, your husband would die and then you have absolutely nothing because his family has captured it. And so this was a law. This was this is a big one for women in Ghana, especially those who life would take their husbands away from them.
You know how yesterday you told me about your experiences with the 31st December Women's Movement nursery school.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday listening to Nane J. Bafuwa, who is Member of Parliament for Menchia. You know, like some constituency somewhere. Menchia South is like where the it is where the Menchia is. You know, it's where the royal stool is, if I'm not mistaken, because that was Napo's seat, and he replaced Napo. So it is the heart of Kumasi, you know. And of course, we hear stories of those who are of the view that her legacy is not without any checkered or is not without blemish, right? There are people who say, okay, well, she did great, but she also did that. And to listen to Nane J. Bafuwa talk about the impact of Nana Konedu Agyeman Rawlings, you know, despite being a staunch NPP member. In fact, when he said that she was even a controversial figure, he goes on to add that amongst or within the controversy, there was also something that she was also always pushing for. And I mean, in reading around her, I also came to understand or know that she was the one that pushed for Ghana ratifying the United Nations, you know, rights of the child in 1991. So if you look at all of what she's achieved, you know, and again, Rickett Hagan said something profound, that even before affirmative action became fancy, and everybody was jumping on, Nana Konedu was in the space already, you know. So and mind you, there's an NPP government in 2009, 8, you know, or 7 thereabout. Took her to court. You know, they wanted to jail her over the Nsawam cannery, you know, issues. You know, apparently they are accused of diversifying
money,
you know, of investments and all of that. So it's interesting to see how over time, I don't want to say wounds, but people change. I was listening to Kufuor speak to their grandchildren, and for the first time since her passing and since photos became public, for the first time, all 4 of them were in a very calm, happy. I mean, they've always been calm, but they were smiling. They had loosened up for the very first. I don't know, maybe you know. And this was when former President Kufuor was
talking to them.
Meanwhile, some 20 years ago, he wanted to jail your mom. You know, so I think our politics has come of age, and it should be a timely reminder that there are really no permanent enemies, right? So for the new crop of politicians, they open up some microphone, open up some small studio in their house, and they're just insulting from archbishop to political opponents across the divide to their own party people, insulting everybody. You know, people are just for the want of fame and money and power, they are also, you see, it's fleeting. It's fleeting. And you don't build legacies like that, right? So I think the story around Kunedu, you know, Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rollins, you know, her role as a co-founder also in part of the NDC, you know, her legacy in women's empowerment, children, you know, her breakaway from the NDC, her role back into a stateswoman, you know, should serve as a timely reminder that there are no real permanent enemies, right? Sometimes we can say permanent interest, and no permanent enemies, and we should strive to be a part of a politics that is not, you know, hurting of one's views or one's, you know, side or point of view, but rather seek to enhance the common good of society. And I'm sure we're better for it as a people.
May her soul rest in perfect peace.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wanted to do this story. Ghana AIDS Commission alarmed as youth abandon condoms. And this story is on graphiconline.com. So this, let me read a bit of it. The Ghana AIDS Commission has expressed concern over the declining use of condoms among young people, attributing the trend to a reduced fear of HIV and AIDS infections. Mr. Isaiah Do Kwao, Director of Research, Monitoring and Evaluation at the Commission, said that although condoms remained widely available, many young people were becoming complacent about their sexual health, opting for unprotected sex despite the risks. Even though we have condoms in this country, it appears the youth of today are not using them as we would want. He said at the 14th National Partnership Forum on HIV and AIDS in Accra on Wednesday, Mr. Kwao explained that some young people preferred going raw and believed HIV was no longer deadly because there were fewer visible deaths. Some say they prefer the natural feel. Others think HIV is no longer deadly because they no longer see people dying like before. So the fear factor is gone, he noted.
Imagine.
He described such perceptions as dangerous, stressing that condoms remain one of the most effective tools for preventing HIV, sexually transmitted infections, and unintended pregnancies. As much as possible, we continue to encourage them to reduce risky behaviors. Condom use is still key in preventing HIV and other infections. We advise them to either abstain, remain faithful to one partner, or use condoms consistently and correctly, he said. Mr. Kwao urged young people to take their health seriously, noting that their well-being was vital to Ghana's future development. And the story goes on and on and on. Ghana's goal of ending AIDS by 2030 looks so far, if this is what people are thinking right now. Because just because you don't see it, but then again, back in the day, it was in our face. The ABCs of you know, A was abstain, B was be faithful, C was condom use, and now they think that,
I remember going to my auntie's wedding in the early 2000s on Legon campus. It was everywhere, dotted across campus, everywhere.
Like you could see the
in
signs.
Fact, one of the billboard was maintained up until the time I was leaving school, and I think was removed just around that time. It was right in front of the Institute of African Studies.
Right.
So they had like the AB, and you could tell that the billboard was old, you know. So you're right. We are not seeing the same energy with awareness, you know, on HIV, on AIDS, and the need for prevention and all of that.
Sexually transmitted diseases are real, my people. You wear a condom. You don't know who or what you're getting yourself into. If you're not ready to be a mother, if you're not ready to get sexual transmitted, if cervical cancer, if that doesn't scare you, then I don't know what else will scare you. Please, at least for the women, protect yourself. The men, I don't understand.
Abstain.
Yeah, simple, abstain. If you can't abstain, wear a condom. They'll be faithful, then I can't help you there. If you can't abstain, wear a condom. The be faithful. I can't help you there because you might be faithful, but you don't know whether your partner is being faithful.
You should be advocating for
everything
and for chastity.
I'm saying I can't speak for people. I can't speak for you.
Yeah, but
I can't speak for
so
me.
you have a platform, right?
And
so
I'm using my platform to say abstain. if you cannot abstain, use a condom.
And be faithful. You have to add you have to add it. You have to. I think it's an important message actually. Giving out this morning because there's a lot of recklessness.
Recklessness. To think that condom. Oh my word!
Yeah,
you want to go raw.
Yeah.
And then let me see the calculation of when a woman gets pregnant. Within that first 2-3 weeks, no, she calls you 4 weeks.
I I
haven't seen it.
You know the crazy thing right now? People are even more afraid of pregnancy than they are of STIs, and I'm like, how is this even the thinking, right? So they'll tell you that like STIs don't wear pampers, and they'll ask you if you know how much a pampers the diapers cost,
Oh yeah.
But it's not a helpful thinking,
No,
it is recklessness.
It's not.
Because when you fall sick, it's a burden to not only your immediate family and of course yourself, but to the state. Your healthcare is subsidized. It is taxpayers' money that could have been used in building schools, used in building, infrastructure, used in improving the road. That will be used to take care of you as a patient, and it's because of your unbridled, reckless, how do you say, automation also. There's a lack of self-control. Right?
Yeah. Oh, you wanted the English.
Yeah, I wanted the English of actually a corner bunny, the last. Charlie, I have to, guys. So yeah, thank you very much for the message. It's spot on.
Is there any other story you wanted us to review before?
Yeah, momentum grows on day 2
yes.
of Northern Business Fair in Tamale. The Northern Business Fair 2025 has entered its second day. Hooray! At the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale, drawing enthusiastic participation from exhibitors, entrepreneurs, and business enthusiasts across the northern sector. The fair, organized by ChannelOne TV and City FM, continues to celebrate Made in Ghana excellence by showcasing innovations and products from small and medium enterprises, startups, research institutions, local brands, and NGOs from Savannah, Northern, Northeast, Upper East, and Upper West regions. Speaking at the event, Joanna Abombisa, Senior Export Development Officer at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, described the collaboration with ChannelOne TV and City FM as a valuable platform for promoting locally made products to a wider audience. She revealed that GEPA sponsored about 20 exhibitors to participate in the fair's maiden edition. Bukari Mohammed, Regional Manager of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, commended the initiative, calling it a rare opportunity for businesses to gain exposure and expand their market reach. He praised ChannelOne TV and CTFM for their track record of impactful programs and reaffirmed Ghana Enterprises Agency's commitment to sustaining the partnership. And on that note, correct for 100 points. So we scored it, Charlie.
I saw pictures on our social media platforms of the fair and some videos, and I was like, how I wish we were there, because it seemed like it was a fun time. And when I came back from the caravan, my big straw hats, someone was waiting for me here to take it, so I gave it away. So I really want to purchase another one. Yeah. Also, see how I cried, they don't find your so they took it. But I would really love to purchase another straw hat, some shea butter,
you can get some of the team members there too,
and all of that. Yeah, don't
purchase
worry.
It for you.
I got it.
So yeah,
I got it.
The Shawana Day on form, Charlie. And it was
fun. I saw her in Fremont on stage.
Yeah, they call it Empress Shawana. No, Charlie, too much. Amazing, guys. It was incredible to see the fact that local businesses are getting a platform, and I'll be looking forward to seeing some of these brands, transcend, local prominence. And when I say local prominence, just being champions within the region, right, to becoming household name nationally, and of course, with God's help and our dedication and commitment here at ChannelOne TV, propelled to even like international and global. Because I think that, and let me just say this, right, I'd want to really also commend President Mahama, right? He's been an excellent advocate for supporting and enhancing, our identity. Every time you see the president on an international platform, he's looking very, very good in his well-made African print or his smock. So, for example, his outfit at the United Nations General Assembly, right? He was in a beautiful smock. So when somebody watching from somewhere else in the world, it's like, oh, really? This is nice. The next thing they search smokes and all of it. So this platform this event gives a platform to some of these exhibitors, right? But beyond that, people like yourself who are on TV, I would love to see you in a smoke one time host the show. It helps in also bringing more eyeballs, bringing more attention to all of the amazing things they do there. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited for what lies ahead. And I can't wait to see the businesses thrive to such a point that, they become global brands. Because, see, who would have thought back in the day, I remember a Kumfi, and my friends in the UK go to supermarkets and other shops, and they see a Kumfi juice front row, right? Of course, it's not where we want it to be yet. We want it to start rivaling some of the big names in the industry, and we'll get there, but you need to start from somewhere. So I'm hoping that all of these brands, it looks like a small start, but I'm so confident, with their own dedication to their cause and our commitment here to keep showcasing, the excellent things they do. And of course, with God's help, we should begin to see significant gains in how some of these products, become market ready, not only for local demand, but for also the international stage. Yeah.
I love it. And today's day 2, so if you find yourself in the northern region, in any of the northern regions, the 5 northern regions, and then this is happening at the Tamale Sports Stadium, and 9 a.m. sharp. That's time near upon first mass, if you're a Catholic.
It's interesting because the Tamale Stadium looks quite similar to the Accra Sports Stadium.
And similar to the Baba Yara Sports Stadium too.
I mean, to think of it, they were all built for the same purpose in Tuta. Some of them were already existing,
refurbished, yeah.
But they've all outlived it,
You want to go there?
There's not a time for it, but I think that we need a new stadium, but I'll probably make this argument on another platform.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, shout outs to the team over there, Chris Asima, Fremedu Nyame, JB Alote, Tajuddin, of course, Empress Shawana. Did I miss anybody out? Madeline Williams. Who else is there?
Akwesi.
Oh, yeah. No, Ricky Ross. Akwesi is also there as well.
Nikki's the one behind the camera.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Nikki's the one taking these videos.
Oh, Nikki is in.
Yeah,
wow,
Nikki's in the
Nikki
north.
Experience.
Yeah, Nikki Experience is in the north.
Of course,
JB's there. Your
MD.
Own, what's his name? Danny.
Oh, Nisai.
Yeah.
Nisai. Oh,
and there we are.
Nisai Anand.
Alabira. Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira. Do not leave any of his names out. Alaji's there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's
there
nice,
he
that's
is.
nice. That's
and
nice.
our very own.
All right, so we
Samatawa.
have been told day 1 was a huge success.
So
and with the way city events are, it's always
the day 2 that climaxes.
Telling you.
It'll be fun.
So,
It'll be very fun.
Amazing,
All right. On that note,
we can go for a quick break, right?
Yeah.
But before the break, we want you to enjoy this ministration, and you'll be blessed by it.